Welcome to Kids Connexion.
Hey friends, it's Smalls.
And Tarzan. I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to miss being around the people I haven't seen in a while. It's hard to stay away from people we care about. Today, we're going to hear about a man who had a sickness called leprosy. And like the coronavirus, people were afraid of catching it, so he had to stay away from his family and friends. But Jesus helped him, and Jesus' power helps us when we're lonely too.
I also want to take a minute to talk about this week's God sightings. How have you seen God at work this week? So this week, my God sighting is that our families are all home together for extra time together. And I know one family member is so happy about that, and that is my dog, Delilah. She loves that her whole family is at home. She gets to see all of her family members so much more. And although she is extra exhausted at the end of the day because it is a little bit more tiring, I know she's very happy that the people she loves is home all the time.
That's kind of like my God sighting. This past Sunday, we had Humor Sunday, and it was so good to know and to hear about how even during all of this, everyone was able to take like an hour out of their day and just have a good time and laugh together and relax. Even with all those great things God is doing right now, there are still a lot of hard things too. I wonder, what's been the hardest thing for you right now? For me, it's definitely that the weather hasn't been great this week, and I really like going for walks. So when it's cold and it's rainy and it's snowing, I can't go for my walk, so it's been really hard getting a bit of cabin fever.
One of the hardest things for many people is not being able to see their friends or extended family. For me, I miss seeing the kids in my dance classes. Usually I get to see them a couple times a week, but I'm not able to teach in class right now and see their faces, and I'm really starting to miss them.
Being separated from people we care about can make us feel lonely, but Jesus' power helps us when we're lonely. Let's hear how Jesus' power helped a man in the Bible who was probably very lonely.
But first, we're going to stand up and we're going to sing and dance through our very first song.
Back in Bible times, there was a disease called leprosy. If you got it, you get painful sores all over your body. There was no cure, and often people who caught it would have to either live on their own or live in towns that only had other lepers in them. People were afraid of catching it. much like people are afraid today of getting sick. There's lots of things we can do to keep ourselves from getting sick. One thing we're supposed to do is wash our hands really well. Let's pretend to wash our hands while we sing the ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? We're also supposed to stay away from people. We've given it the fancy name of social distancing. We're being told that to stay safe, we're supposed to be 2 meters away from anyone else. That's why, in these videos, I sit on one side of this bench and Smalls sits all the way on the other side of the bench. That way we are 2 meters or 6 feet apart. People in Bible times knew all about social distancing. Like I said before, they were so scared that they made entire towns just to make sure they didn't catch leprosy. It was even against the law for a leper to be in the city. If they were found in the city, everyone would yell "unclean" at them so that no one would touch them by accident. All those rules must have made people who had leprosy feel really lonely. Smalls, let's pretend you have leprosy. You're no longer allowed to go home. You can't go into town for groceries. You have to stay at the end of the bench. I bet you feel pretty lonely. Now, I can see that Smalls is lonely. I can try and give her a hug from 2 meters away, but my arms aren't long enough. So no hugs. No pats on the back. She's going to have to sit there at the other end of the bench in her own bubble. However, just because I have to stay 2 meters away from her doesn't mean I can't help out Smalls. I bet if we stopped and thought about it, we would think of a few things I could do to help Smalls. I have an idea. Hey Smalls.
Hey Tarzan.
You look really good today. It's a nice sweater.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you feel less lonely over there now?
I do. Thank you for noticing me.
See, it could be lonely not to be able to be close enough to hug anyone for a long time. But let's see what Jesus did when he met someone with leprosy. While Jesus walked along, a man with leprosy came up to him out of the crowd. The man knew Jesus had the power to heal leprosy. So he said to Jesus, "Lord, if you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean." Jesus reached his hand out and touched the man and answered, "I am willing. Be healed." And the man was healed instantly. Wait, did you catch what Jesus did? Let me say it again. Jesus touched the man. This man probably hadn't had a hug or a pat on the back or anyone touch him for a very long time. Jesus touched him. Jesus wasn't afraid of getting leprosy. Jesus knew his power was stronger than leprosy. Jesus knew that not only did this man's body need healing, his heart needed healing too. This man needed to feel Jesus' love right there on his arm or his shoulder or his head. He needed a loving touch to heal his loneliness. We need to be wise and protect ourselves right now, but being separated from people can make us feel lonely. I'm sure at some point today, you can come up with ways to help out lonely people around you too. It could even just be smiling at someone who looks lonely. We can reach out to help others when they're lonely, but even when no one else is around, Jesus' power helps us when we're lonely. He's always right there with us to comfort us and heal our hearts.
One way Jesus' power helps us when we're lonely is to remind us that Jesus is our friend. No matter what's going on right now, you always have a friend who is right there next to you and not 2 meters away. Sometimes our dancing and singing can get crazy, so maybe 2 meters of space would be a good idea for our next song.
Come on, clap your hands. Here we go. That's it.
man is healed from leprosy, a miracle that Jesus did. One day, a man with leprosy came to Jesus. Leprosy was a wildly spread skin disease. Lepers had disfigured skin and open wounds. Many people were afraid to get infected by them, so they had to live outside the cities and villages so that the people did not get close to them. This man asked Jesus, "If you want to, you can heal me." "I want to," Jesus replied, and touched him with his hand. Immediately, his skin turned normal again, and he was completely healed from his illness. Jesus told him, "Don't tell anyone that you are healed. Only go and show the Jewish leaders that you have been healed."
The people in Jesus' time didn't want people with leprosy mixing in with anyone else. I have a fun mix-it-up science experiment we can try to help us think more about that. So first, we're going to pour some oil into our container, about the same amount as the water that is already in the container. Next, we're going to close the container super tight. This is why I'm having Tarzan do it. Now we're going to shake the container as hard as we can for 10 seconds. Ready, Tarzan? I'm going to count you down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stop. And let's take a look at our mixture. We've mixed it up really well, but let's see what happens as it settles down. But it might take a little bit of time, so do you want to see a really awesome video of some otters trying to chase a butterfly? Of course you do. Let's watch that while we wait. Now that our mixture has had some time to settle, let's take a look. It doesn't look like the oil and water are really mixed anymore. It seems as though the oil and the water want to stay separate from each other. Oil and water naturally want to stay separate, but it isn't so natural for us as people. Being separated from others makes us feel very lonely, but we can turn to Jesus for help. Jesus is like this dish soap. The dish soap binds the water and the oil together. Then we don't have to feel so lonely.
Even though we're separated from a lot of our friends, we still have our family with us. And we can still connect with people online and even do online Kids Connexion together. If it's healthy for you, when the video is over, go ahead and gather with your family and have a nice big group hug. And if it's not safe, try a long distance hug like this. So nice.
Focusing on the people Jesus has put in our lives, even in this hard time, can help us feel less alone. That's one way Jesus' power helps us when we are lonely.
When the video ends, draw a picture in your thankfulness journal of someone you're thankful that you can connect with during this time, either in person or online. Put today's date on that page and keep adding it to your journal this week as you see more God sightings.
We hope to see you all next week.
Bye!